Everybody, welcome to Traffic Keys, and today we're going to discuss the surprising truth about generating recurring customers. Yep, that's it. You did the work to get a customer, you drove the traffic to the website, they became a customer, but now how do you get them to come back? How do you get them to be a customer again? So that's what we're going to be discussing. My name is Atiba, and this is Traffic Keys. If you are a business owner and you're looking to drive more organic traffic to your website, you are in the right place because that's what we're discussing. And I'm teaching you everything that I've learned over the last 15 years for absolutely free. So let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about recurring customers. All right. Because the reality is this: it's a ton easier to create a recurring customer, have somebody come back and buy again. It's a ton cheaper to sell to someone a second time than it is to sell to someone the first time. So if you do all the work to get a customer, then it behooves you to make them a recurring customer, somebody who's going to come back again and buy again. Now, obviously, we've talked email marketing. We've talked a lot of other things before. And you think, well, yeah, I email them and they'll come back. But how do I know when they're going to come back? Well, how do I know what to do? Right? How do I generate this recurring customer? And honestly, guys, the answer is surprisingly simple. I mean, surprisingly simple. And for those of you, and I just want to pause for a moment and say this. For those of you who are selling a product and you think, oh, well, I sell this product, and when they buy it, they may not need another one of those again in their life. Number one, that's a bad business model. Well, let me just be blunt with you. If you're selling something that people only ever need once and they come to you and they buy it once and they never come back, that's a bad business model. There isn't a ton of longevity in that. I'm just being completely honest with you. And I know you may want to argue with me. And if you do, feel free. I'm here at Traffic Keys. Leave a comment. If you're on the podcast, welcome Podcast Land. If you're on the podcast, send me an email. hello@traffickeys.com. If you're selling a one-off product that people buy once and they never come back and you think, oh, I'm in it to win it. And I'll show you why you're not. And it's a bad business model. And I'm not saying that to be offensive to you, but I am saying there is a way that you can fix that and actually increase your profit margins exponentially and create recurring customers. Okay. And here it is. Here is the surprising secret. You all ready for this? I got to prepare myself. Are you guys ready? Here it is. Every problem that you solve, so every solution that you offer creates a new problem. Every solution creates a new problem. Don't believe me? Let's talk about it. Let's say you go out, and if you guys remember when you bought your first car, right? You figured out how much the car was going to cost, and you may have even considered what the down payment was going to be, and you would have considered, say, the monthly payment on the car and all that wonderful stuff. And then you bought the car, and you solved your problem because now you got wheels, you got transportation. But what new problem did it create? Now you got an insurance bill. That's a new problem that was created. You didn't have it before, right? Every solution, your solution, what you do for your customers solves a problem. We talk about that all the time. We talk about being obsessed with your customers and knowing what their problems are and solving their problems with your product or service. That's what it all is about, getting them that result. But when you get them that result, you ultimately leave them in a place either along the journey or when it's done with a new problem that needs to be solved. You have a choice at that point. Okay? You've got a choice because this is the beauty of creating recurring customers. And this is beyond just, a consumable product that you need to just keep on buying, right? Like milk or something like that. I'm saying if you're an accountant, or if you sell books, or like, if you're a book publisher or that type of thing, so beyond just something that's daily or monthly consumable. And even in those cases, you're still solving a problem that creates another problem that's going to need to be solved. Right? And so here's the beauty. The beauty is, if you can get so obsessed, we're back on that again. If you can get so obsessed with your customer that in the process of solving their problem, in the process of getting them the result with your solution, that you could be attuned enough to know the other challenges that they're going to have along the way, or what comes next. What comes next? What is the next problem that they're going to have? What is the next thing that they're going to need? And when you do one out of two things. Do one out of two things. You either, number one, make a decision that with my solution and now the new problem that they have, I can offer another solution to help them solve that problem. Okay? You can say, I can help them offer another solution. I give you an example. So my wife's a business coach, and she talks all about your money, and she talks all about creating structure in your business to grow the money in your business, your business income. And that's awesome. Well, as you do that, you're going to do what? You're going to create a problem, because now, right, my business is no longer just making a couple bucks. It's making thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now I need a tax accountant. Okay? I've just created a new problem. And so for my wife, she has a choice. Is she going to become a tax accountant and offer tax accountant services? Probably not. Probably not. And Anja, thank you. Thank you for saying that. That's good. Probably not. She's not going to become a tax accountant. That's not in her wheelhouse. She can't solve that problem. That's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because what she does instead is she partners with someone who is a tax accountant. She partners with them. She does a joint venture with them. Let me give you that term, a joint venture. I'm not talking about a referral. I'm talking about a joint venture. Okay? A joint venture where we say, hey, when I've got my customers and I'm working with them, and they start to create this problem, I want to then start to offer your services to them. And as I offer the services to them, you pay me a fee for doing that. That increases your bottom line. It increases their bottom line. The other option, so that's one. You create a problem, or they create a new problem that you can't solve. But what about when they create a problem that you can solve? So for my wife, again, I'm going to use her as an example. I'm using her all day today as an example. So she helps people grow and break the $100,000 barrier in their business. So once they break it, what happens then? Do they leave her? Well, guess what? If I taught you how to break 100, don't you think I could teach you how to break 500,000? Yeah, she can. And so then once people start to get close or break that $100,000 mark in their businesses, she can then start offering them the next level of solutions to take them to $500,000 in their business. Why? Because that's within her wheelhouse. Because after they reach that 100,000, they've got a new problem. How do I continue growing? And she can provide a solution of how they can continue growing that still fits her audience and her brand. Guys, this is the key to creating recurring customers. This is it right here. Understanding that your solution is eventually going to create a problem for them, and then you're going to have to solve that problem. You say, okay, well, I get it in those industries. How is it going to work in my industry? Let me give you an example. Okay, I'll give you another example. So for many, many years, we owned a gift delivery service. And in the gift delivery service, people would contact us and they'd want to send a gift. And we would send these fantastic gifts to someone that they loved, right? Well, guess what? We just created a problem for them because when Aunt Sally sent to Susie one of our gifts, and Susie told all the other cousins what Aunt Sally sent, what does Aunt Sally now have to do for all the other cousins? She's got to send a gift just as good. Well, how can you send a gift just as good? Send mine. And we're leaving that up to chance, aren't we? You're leaving up to chance that your customer is going to make that connection. And you can't, you shouldn't, it's wrong. You have to help them make that connection. You have to help them see that, hey, I helped you solve this problem and it created another problem for you. And you don't say it like that, obviously, right? But that's what it is. It created another problem for you. Let me help you solve your next problem. Or let me point you in the direction of somebody else who can solve the next problem that you have as well. So that, my friends, is how you create recurring customers in your business. It really is that simple, but it comes back to our base principle of traffic, right? What is the key number one of traffic? Be obsessed with your audience. It's about your audience. You have to know your audience. You have to know what they love. You have to know what they hate. You have to know what motivates them. You have to know what makes them move. And when you solve a problem for them, which you will because you have great solutions, what comes next? What comes next? Last example I'm going to give you guys, and this is one of mine. This is actually a Traffic Keys example. So one of the things with Traffic Keys, one of the products and services that I have for you guys actually is that is what I call my PR bundle. So right now it's such a great time to get into public relations and into the press, right? For your business. There are so many news outlets that are looking to run stories, good, positive stories coming out of the coronavirus pandemic, that they're hurting for stuff and they're looking for things. So we help people, we help businesses get into press, write their press release and get it published in the press, which gives them instant credibility because then you can use as seen on logos. Like we're getting people listed in CBS and Fox. I mean, like places you want to be and places people will see you. So anyway, so that is the service that we're offering. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. But what problem does it solve? Does it cause? Well, it solves one problem. Let me handle that. It solves the problem that it builds instant credibility for your business because you were published in these major journals or newspapers or TV stations or what have you. It gives you major credibility. That's the problem it solved. What's the problem it created? Who in your audience knows about it? And how do you let them know about it? So while we went out and solved this problem for a bunch of people, we realized that the next thing that they needed was a way to let their social media followers know. So we created an entire package that allows them to just take all of the graphics, to get all the graphics, all the text, everything, so that they can just send it out straight to their social media following. We solved the next problem that they had. See how that works? It doesn't matter what your industry is. It does not matter. And I challenge you. You may think, oh, no, it does matter. I mean, your example, blah, blah. And you're going to give me a bunch of excuses. So I dare you. I double dare you. I triple dog dare you to send me a comment. Send me an email. hello@Traffic Keys. I check that. No one in my agency checks that. I check that. Okay. Send me an email and tell me your industry and tell me this won't work for you. I dare you to do it. And if you have an industry where this absolutely will not work and you prove me completely wrong, and I am an absolute madman, I will invite you on this Traffic Keys show, you and we can talk about it, and you can tell everybody why I was wrong. But I guarantee you can't. But I dare you to try. Let's talk about it. I'm here for you. Okay? So that's it, guys. Really, really simple. Be obsessed with your customer. Understand that every solution creates a new problem. And the key to generating recurring customers is being able to anticipate those next set of problems your customer is going to have and either provide a solution for it that is one of yours, or partner with someone and do a joint venture where both of you benefit from providing the solution to the customer. Okay. Again, it's a pleasure as always being here with you guys. If you've got any questions, please leave me a comment here on Facebook, Traffic Keys on Facebook, on YouTube, Traffic Keys as well. And also the podcast is called Traffic Keys. And if you're on the podcast, you can always reach me by email. Again, that's hello@traffickeys.com. I am Atiba. I will see you tomorrow. Go generate some organic traffic. Bye, guys.